finish up at, excuse me, at that time it was MGM Studios in LA, and you know, everyone would finish their day's work, and then I would get into the prosthetics, rubber makeup, and bank max footage for the next day, because when I was playing the other character, I had to be playing with Max, so in fact playing with myself. Every actor's dream, believe me. And so I'd finish up at kind of midnight, and then sort of stagger back to the Oakwood apartments and you know, down Venice Boulevard. And I remember going into Taco Bell, and it was the only thing that was open, and coming out with a bean burrito or something, and I was so tired I squeezed the bean burrito too hard, and it ended up in this kind of turd shape on the hood, and it just I just let it sit there, and it hardened, and it sort of became like my hood ornament, and it just seemed perfect. I just, you know, thought, wow, that was fantastic. So yeah, I just loved it. It was great. It's better than a Mercedes-Benz symbol, you know. Ginger curve. Hello.
Hi. I love your character, Dr. Leakey, on Orphan Black.
Oh, thank you.
And I wanted to ask what it was like working on that show.
It was great. You know, John Fawcett, who is one of the creators on it and was directing that first episode, anyway, where that character is introduced. He and I worked together on Steven Spielberg's Taken, the miniseries, and he's a lovely director, John, and you know, Tatiana, who plays all the clones. I mean, it's fantastic what she's doing. I mean, so you know, they're going to kill her. I mean, it's just it's exhausting what she's doing, but somehow manages to embody all these different personalities, and it was fun to do. I mean, very kind of cutting edge, weird, and somehow mesmerizing the show, you know. So yeah, I wish them all the best. They're amazing. So it's good fun.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh no, I didn't realize that's what we have to go through. Yep. Yeah. Yes.
Hello. I just wanted to know if you were able to keep any souvenirs from like a supernatural set, like the ring. Like, are you guys allowed to keep the rings?
I tried so hard to swipe stuff, and the security people, you know, flying tackles, karate chops. Well, I wasn't able to get out with anything. I didn't even get any office supplies. Just one letterhead. No, I had nothing.
All right, thanks.
Otherwise, I'd give it to you. I know what you're playing for.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Not bad.
My question is about Eureka. Do you have a funny, memorable moment from the show?
Well, there were lots. I mean, you know, Colin Ferguson, our main guy on it, was great. And you know, in these things, the fish either rots or smells good from the head down. And he was our #1 on the show, and he smelled pretty good. And so it was, he sort of established the sort of goof off tone. So it was sort of all bets are off, and we had a great time on it. I mean, every day had something going on. You know, people were always hiding stuff from other actors so they wouldn't get on the set in time and stuff, which is always fun, because you want to get other people in trouble. It's basically grade 3, but you know, you're getting paid for it.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll be back. Hello.
Hi. We're hearing some rumors that you may be involved in Eric Crispin's new show.
Yeah.
Coming out of Vancouver. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, it's called Time, and it's a time travel show, and Eric very kindly asked me to be in that, so I'm gonna start shooting that next week, actually. Yeah, very excited.
So you can stop by Supernatural, you know, in case they need it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, you know, just like one-stop shopping. You know?
Thanks.
Thank you. Welcome. Hello.
Hello. Question for you. You have been in so many roles, and we've spoken about them all this afternoon. Was there a role that you were up for that you wanted to get, or you were up, you auditioned for that you would have liked to have been in? And could you share with us what that role was that you really missed out on?
You know, there's always ones that you get close on, and I've been down to the last 2 or 3 on some big things, and they take the other guy, and you kind of you just sort of have to move on, and you can't. Specifically though, I can't think of any right now. I did this one in the Nick, which was this HBO show, and I auditioned for something else in that, and then Steven Soderbergh got in touch and he said, "Well, you should play this other role," and I was like, "Great." So you know, that was a sort of a happy rejection, if there is such a thing, if you know what I mean. So when something like that happens, and you can still be involved with the project if you really love the project or the people or you know, usually firstly the script, that's when it's really great. You know, that so you're not, you know, they say, "No, you can't do this," and you're like, "Oh God, I'm ready to slash my wrist. I'm halfway through," and then they go, "Come back for this," "But I'm bleeding out here." So it was, yeah, that one was a happy rejection. It's going to be my new stripper name, actually. Why did I say that? Yeah.
Hi. Loved you in Supernatural, but what I'd like to ask you about is your experience in Search of Dr. Seuss. And did you actually learn anything about Theodore Geisel?
Yeah. I mean, you know, Audrey Geisel was behind the project, and it was very flattering. She asked for me to play the Cat in the Hat, you know, which was pretty amazing. And to meet her, she's a lovely woman, but she looks a bit like the Cat in the Hat. She has this lovely round face and these high cheekbones and very, you know, big eyes, and she's a really sweet woman. And it was cool to work on it. Vince, what's his last name? But he was Michael Jackson's choreographer, and he directed this, and just amazing. I mean, and you know, working with Kathy and Jimmy was a blast, and I loved being fitted for the cat suit. It was like wearing it was like a furry tuxedo, and one of my dogs at the time got very amorous with it. It was like over the couch, and when they came over to fit me for the tuxedo, and I was you know, talking to the costume designer, and behind her, one of my dogs was sort of like, "Hey." You know, he realized this one wasn't going to get away. And he was just, you know, having at my tux. And so there's this stupid scene for the next couple of minutes where I'm trying to, you know, just asking her anything. So how long have you been a wardrobe designer? I was trying to stall. I'm trying to stall for one of my dogs. I did anything for him.
Thank you.
Thank you, I think. Hello.
Hi, Kim.
Hello.
You're obviously a loyal wingman, that's what that was.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge zombie horror fan, and of course I absolutely loved you on Dawn of the Dead. You did such a great, that scene is amazing. It emotes so much emotion from you, you know.
Oh, thank you.
So, again, similar question to the Eureka one. Do you have any memories, anything major that you brought out of that?
Well, you know, the girl playing my daughter at the time, you know, she was a fairly new actress, and we were trying to make sure that she wasn't burnt out before we actually got to shooting, you know. And it's always dangerous with those things where you bring too much emotion too early on in the rehearsal process, because you get cried out, and then when it comes time, you have to, that's when it counts. And so with her, it was there was a lot of that going on. We just had to sort of make sure that we were going to peak at the right right time. It was interesting because Zack Snyder, again, that was his first big film after 300, and he was great. He just sort of let us get on with it, and was very tender. He was very sort of a real father figure with that particular scene. So he was very helpful. You know.
You could tell it's an amazing scene. It's one of the two major scenes in the movie that you're just like, wow, that's what you bring from it.
That's really sweet of you to say. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And my hand stays with.
Hello.
Hello.
So you seem like one of those true actors that can really take a role and kind of make it your own without a lot of guidance. So my question is, now going back a few years, when did you realize in your life that you wanted to do this?
I was lined up to do an honors degree course in biology at university, and I couldn't really see myself chopping up worms' hearts for the rest of my life, as strange as that may seem. And it was sort of when I left high school, I think, and I'd always enjoyed school plays and all the rest of it. And the drama teacher there said, "You get a lot more girls. If you have to." So okay. So that's pretty much what sold it. I went over to England, and I was part of the National Youth Theatre of Great Britain for 2 seasons, and then I had a classical training at the Bristol Theatre School, and then did 11 years in England with the reps and a lot of West End and BBC and films and so on. And then the Max Headroom thing happened after 11 years, and then that brought me over to LA. So it was, I'd been around for a while in the sort of pre-Max thing, but it was kind of good because it allowed, it just sort of allowed me time to learn, and get some chops, So it's all been great. Very, very fortunate.
Theater or show, what do you prefer?
Oh, I kind of go with the material first and a medium second and a small third. Either or. I mean, it's really based on the material and the people you're working with,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
She's back. Hi.
I'm different.
Oh, are you? You're different? How different
So
are you?
different.
I could tell.
Besides your own character, who is your favorite supernatural character?
Death is pretty cool. Death is a tough one to beat, I think. Because if for no other reason than Death is final, he's absolute, and he's quite extreme. And I go for that. The sort of finality thing. I think that's kind of a good one.
Awesome. That's great.
Thank you. Thank you. Across a crowded microphone. Hello. Breathe. What's your favorite color? I'm sorry. Dude, ask me anything.
Okay, I wanted to ask you to do an impression of Panic.
Oh, Panic. Okay. Well, he talks very much like me, but he's more wound up. He's just more wound up. It's me after kind of eating a jar of freeze-dried Nescafe. I'll never blink again. Oh, gosh. We need a moving sidewalk. Hello.
So obviously you just said you worked in England for a while. I assume that's where you could pick up that accent to do that. For your Aussie one, for Eureka, how did you pick that up? And have any Aussies watched Eureka and seen him? Is his accent good or bad? Because to my American ears it sounded good.
Yeah, the idea of that character was that he was he'd been in Oregon him for a while, and that the accent was sort of softened, and that it was kind of half American, half Australian, because he was on a walkabout going back to Australia, and he stops in Eureka for a year or two, you know, and he just sort of stayed put. And but yeah, there was an Australian guy on a set who I always picked his brains, and he was nuts. He was great. You know, and I said, well, how'd that sound? And he said, yeah, it's perfect. Seriously. But he basically taught me that you just sort of, you got to talk questions. Yeah, and he goes, the end sentences. And it sort of gave Taggart that kind of, it kind of informed who he was, just sort of like, it's really enthusiastic.
Have you done like non-English speaking? Tim, you know what I mean? Like
Non-English speaking. Oh yeah. I just did a stint on 12 Monkeys as a Nazi, which was always fun. And I played Czechs and Brits and lots of different stuff. So that's good fun. Thank you. Hello.
Hi. I wanted to ask about, lately, it seems, at least in the shows that I've been watching, like Orphan Black and Falling Skies and Supernatural, like you always play this kind of creepy but also take charge kind of person. And where did you get your inspiration for that? Or how do you get that commanding attitude to be able to control, or to be able to give that air of control?
Creepy changers. I think I think first and foremost it comes from the script. Then it comes from your experience. You try and put yourself in to any commanding situation that you've been in, and if you haven't been in a commanding situation, then your imagination comes into play, and those are the sort of stages or steps that you've got to take. The costume helps, the lighting helps, because sometimes they'll shoot you from down below, which always looks sort of more imposing than when they're shooting there, and lighting and so on. So you're helped on set, but in general, I think probably the less you do, it's probably the more commanding. That if you're just still and you're just staring at a person, that's kind of scary, because it puts the onus on the other person to start blabbing, and usually you do.
Thank you. I really enjoyed you as the commander.
You're blabbing, see? You're blabbing, it works.
In Falling Skies and just your interaction with Noah Wiley, I thought it was really cool.
Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello. I believe you were in a sitcom many years ago called Doctor.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only television sitcom that you've done. And I was wondering what that experience was like, and if it's fun, or if there's a reason that it's the only sitcom that you've done.
Well, good question. But actually, I did one right after that, and it was called Shaky Ground for Fox. But Doctor was for CBS. And it was fantastic. It was written by Norman Steinberg, who wrote Blazing Saddles and My Favorite Years. So, he knows his way around comedy. And he said to me on the first day, I want you to do whatever you want. So, what? Yeah, do whatever you want. So it was a blast to do, because what we ended up doing was one take on the script, and then I would do two off the script, and then they would put it together in the edit. So it was just a wonderful kind of free-form way of working. And then I foolishly thought after that every job would be like that. And of course it's not, because a lot of people are very rigid about their words and kind of keep a kind of white knuckle death grip on them. And but Norman was great, because he let it go, and it reflected well on him, because people were going, I love that, and and then he would return the favor in kind and kind of go, oh, he was ad-libbing all that stuff. So it was a blast to do. It was a great way of working, and I missed that show. So thank you for bringing it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you very loud. So I just want to say thank you for coming. My question was really about when you signed up for the role of Pestilence, did you kind of know what you were getting into with this crazy supernatural fandom that was happening, or did you only find out kind of after the fact there was all of these people who were crazy about the show?
Well, I knew the show was popular, obviously, but at that time, that was a few years ago, so it hadn't kind of achieved its nadir or its apogee, its pinnacle. It wasn't doing as well as it is now. But it was, the momentum that it's gathered is phenomenal. So, real testament to the show, the people working on the show, and you guys to keep it right at the forefront. It's great. A lot of fun.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you vacant over there? Are you barren?
It's just me.
I'm sorry.
I'm not exactly sure what I walked into. Are you grilling people with their reproductive capabilities?
That's right. And now on reproductive organ.
You know what, Mike? Note to self, we need to add a reproductive organ to the band.
Get that on the right.
That's a little slightly more risque than tinkling on the ivories. How fantastic is it to have this gentleman on the stage? Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause.